Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. So I'm back with one of my heavyweight classic fight reviews. All right, so we're going 1974, Ali versus Big George. Man, before I break this fight down and I start going from round to round, breaking it down, uh, going into this fight, man, I know George looked as the undefeated knockout artist. Ali, the former champion. I believe he was, I think he was 7 years older than Foreman in this fight, 6 or 7 years older. Foreman looked as a guy that destroyed Frazier, destroyed Ken Norton, guys that Ali had to go tooth and nail with. And to me, in my opinion, I know people hate to hear this, and some fans actually think it's outdated, but to me, it makes sense. Styles make fights. But I do understand. I know it's different when you're living in the moment. So if this was if you're living in 1972, 73, 74, you're seeing something different. And Foreman looked like he was going to be the future. All right. And people are looking at it. Well, shit, man, if Ali, has trouble trying to handle the pressure of Frazier, what the hell is he going to do with somebody bigger and stronger than Frazier and a guy like Foreman? So I can understand the psyche of some fans and, perceiving how this fight was going to go. But at the same time, and I know it's kind of easier said now, right? Looking at it in hindsight, that people underestimated the physical strength of Ali. And it showed in this fight. Both around the same height, was about that 6'3", 6'3.5", somewhere in there. Both around the same height. Foreman outweighed Ali only about 4 pounds. Now, if you're asking me who can probably lift more weights back then or who was the stronger guy as far as that, I'll probably say Foreman. But both around the same weight. Foreman was 220 for this fight. Ali was 216. And there's a difference in being strong in boxing, how to grab, how to, grab a guy around his arm when you're on the inside fighting for inside position, or holding that guy head down, or putting your forearm in in a guy's throat. I know it's illegal, but Ali did it a lot. He did a lot of everything in this fight. But when you're doing stuff like that, or getting position and getting under your opponent, or just knowing how to control them, that's a different type of strength. And Ali is very strong in that regard, man. So I think people they didn't think that was going to happen. They thought Foreman was just overpowering him every which way. All right. So Ali was I'm not saying he was stronger than George, but he's right there though, man. He's right there as far as doing those types of things. Now, I thought George obviously the harder puncher, but two different types of strength. Almost like when you look at Tyson and Holyfield. Tyson's the bigger puncher. But as far as physical strength, just all around in the ring, when you're grabbing and pushing and taking punches and throwing punches, just strength, like that boxing strength, Holyfield just as strong, if not stronger. You guys get what I'm saying? So that's what I saw in this fight, man. Also, I wish they went back to this is when they put the gloves on in the ring. Because it was just funny as hell back in those days, watching Ali go at it with guys and go over there and stare them down and get the crowd on his side as they put the gloves on to the fighters inside the ring, before the fight start. But I'm going to go ahead and break it down, man. So, yeah, man, it's a classic fight, man. I'll be back after round one. All right, so after round one, I gave that to Ali. I edged round one to Ali. He comes out. He's doing a good job of bouncing side to side, left and right. Then he's started to work the jab, and then he's starting to land these lead right hands, and then he's mixing it up where he'll jab, then he'll grab, or he'll jab, right hand, then grab, or lead right hand, then grab. He's making the rhythm really tricky for Foreman. Foreman's having a hard time kind of catch the rhythm. Foreman did land some good shots. He landed a good left hook that really kind of hit the gloves of Ali too, but thought that was it was a wide left hook. He's landed some good work on the inside with his free hand. And there's a few times he landed that good left hook, right hook combination to Ali's body when he was against the ropes. Ali in this fight, man, not only is he moving left to right to try to, mess up the timing and get Foreman to chase him around the ring, but another thing he's doing is on the inside, he's making it a physical fight. And what I mean by that is He's grabbing on Foreman's neck as Foreman's trying to throw his hooks. Grabbing on him. He's pushing his head down. This is a lot of legal stuff, you know what I mean, that the ref isn't saying nothing about, but he's making it difficult for Foreman. He's disrupting Foreman's rhythm. And another thing Foreman is doing, he's instead of putting the guard up trying to block like that, we know Foreman's known for he'll stick his gloves out there and try to parry your punches or literally knock your punches down with his hand, or he'll try to catch your shot, parry it, and come back over with a hook or his own jab or straight right hand. Ali did a good job in this round, man. But Foreman is throwing hella some hard punches, and he's coming forward very aggressive. He's starting to push Ali. He's, that Foreman push that he's famous for, when he would literally just push guys to knock them off balance. But the thing is, Ali's grabbing him. When he's extending his arms to push, Ali's grabbing him or he's throwing his hands. So I edged that first round to Ali. All right, so after round 2, I gave that round to Ali as well, man. Foreman came out much more aggressive. Well, shit, just as aggressive he was in the first round. But this time, Ali was against the ropes a lot more. Foreman is landing some good body shots. He's missing a lot of wide left and right hooks upstairs. He's landing some. A lot of them are missing. Then he's getting caught in no man's land. And what I mean by that is, as Ali's against the rope, and Foreman, just for that split second of him trying to decide if he wants to throw a left hook or right hook, in the middle of them looping hooks that he's throwing, Ali's coming right down the middle with ones and twos. I mean, the left jab and the straight right hand, he's coming right down the middle. He's starting to pick Foreman apart when he does that. And Foreman he didn't do it as much as he did in the first round, but he is smothering his own work sometimes because he's falling in literally after one big shot. He did land some good jabs, a good jab in there to snap Ali's head back, a good right hand. He's landing some work. Ali is picking when he wants to. He's just picking spots to fight, and then rather than that, he's trying to hold or grab or push Foreman heads down. But it was a close round. I gave it to Ali. Thought it much more cleaner, effective work, and Foreman is landing some good body shots though. But he should have been trying to set up some of those hooks, man, instead of just coming out, just gunning power shot after power shot after power shot. Ali's coming right down the middle. But I gave Ali round 2. Yo, man, I get goosebumps whenever I watch this fight, man. I usually watch this fight. That was the end of round 3. I usually watch this fight at least once a year, at the very least. And I actually have this fight on VHS. So I've been watching this fight at least once a year since the 90s, man. So, but anyways, I edged that round to Big George. Now, Ali, as just in the first 2 rounds, he has these spots where, I'm telling you, man, George is sitting there and he's trying to figure out what he wants to do. And as he's standing there, Ali's coming right down the middle, whether he's against the ropes or whether he's in the center of the ring. The hand quickness, the hand speed is telling in this fight, especially when they're coming straight down the middle. I think George in this fight, he should have shortened up his hooks. He had the right idea to dig to the body, throw them power shots, but he should have just shortened them up, man. He's coming from he's bringing them joints way across town, man, like to land them. But I thought George was very aggressive in this round like he was in the first 2 rounds. And I thought he was a little bit more effective with his body work. Still just big looping shots. But I thought there were times in there where Ali, when he was against the ropes, all he did was just absorb the shots, and then he came in and clinched with Foreman. Then he would talk in his ear, then push him away. There's a lot of little things going on in there. Little subtle things, man, that he's doing to break George down. Talking to him, taking his shots, out-quicking him. You know what I mean? So, but I thought George did enough to get the round. At the very end, Ali had a rally when he started to land the jab and right hands. Probably could have gave the round to Ali, man. But I thought George did enough. Good competitive rounds, but I gave George round 3. I got Ali up 2 rounds to 1. All right, but classic damn fight, man. Also, let me add, at the end of round 3, Ali starting to play to the crowd. This dude's controlling the house, man. I've seen fighters who've had fights in their home cities not be able to control the crowd like this. This is some, legendary type stuff right here. But Ali's up You know what I mean? Playing to the crowd after that rally he had in the final seconds of round 3. All right, so the end of round 4, I gave that round to Ali. He's starting to take Foreman to school, man. Although I edged that round 3 to Foreman, still could have been debated that you can give it to Ali. Round 4, I gave to Ali, though. He's starting to take him to school, man, with the same combination. Now he's throwing 5 punch combinations, straight punches. He tried to sneak it was like a lead uppercut / left hook. It was like a hybrid punch between the two. He tried to sneak that in there and it missed. Foreman did land a good right hand on Ali when he was on the ropes. Then he landed a nice left hook to the body, left hook upstairs combination. I'm not sure if the left hook upstairs landed all the way clean, but he got that going. Ali's fighting him off the back foot. He's backing up, stopping, and then but as he's backing up, he's flicking punches. And then he's really getting some heat behind his right hands, because when he's backing up, he'll stop and then he'll plant, and then he'll push off his right foot and he'll land good right hands. Then against the ropes, a lot of these punches, he's using the ropes to keep leaning back with his head. Foreman is missing a lot of punches. Some of the punches he did land to the body in this round, it was damn near like he was hitting Ali with his wrist or his forearm damn near, because he's falling in. Very clumsy. Looked like he's getting fatigued in his fight, man. But I gave, well, I know he's getting fatigued, but he's getting fatigued in this fight at this point. And I see Ali winning round 4. So I got him up 3 rounds to 1. And the one round that I did give Foreman is kind of debatable. But that's what I see after 4. Turn that off. All right, man. So yeah, round 5. I gave that round to Foreman, but that was an interesting round, man, because the first half of the round, like at the minute and 30-second mark of the round, I'm sitting there looking at it like, damn, Foreman's winning that round because he's just being more active. And Ali is just laying against the ropes, not doing anything, but he's catching a lot of these, especially the head shots. He's catching a lot of these shots. Foreman is landing a few good shots to the body. He's landing a few good shots to the body, but he's missing a lot. And some of the body shots Ali's catching with his elbows. Some of them are landing right under the elbow. A shot that was there all night for Foreman was down the middle when Ali was against the rope, especially when he had his feet separated and he's just like literally leaning against the rope. He isn't standing sideways. He's literally standing right in front of Foreman, flat-footed, feet, you know what I mean? But he's leaning over the ropes, over that top rope, and he's getting that leverage to lean back and get out of the way of these shots. Then towards the very end of the round, like 20 seconds left, Ali comes up out of that high guard and starts teeing off with quick counters, lead counter right hands, jab right hand combinations. He landed a good left hook in this round, Ali did, and I think it was answered right after that by a Foreman left hook. But the last 20 seconds, man, Ali comes alive with the fast, just quick hands, man, right down the middle punches. It's just so telling when they start throwing their combinations and letting you know how fast the punches are coming, and it's a big it's just a big difference in hand speed, man. And in this fight, Ali's punches on Foreman are more telling than the punches that Foreman is landing on Ali. And Foreman is perceived to be the harder puncher, the bigger puncher, one of the hardest punchers in heavyweight history. But in this fight, he's getting more hurt by the punches Ali's throwing because he's fatigued. He doesn't see these punches. They're coming so damn fast. You don't even see them coming, man. And they're coming at a rapid pace, especially when Ali's throwing a combination. You know what I mean? So Ali's not a thudding puncher. But when, 3-4 punches in a row land on you and you're fatigued, it's going to take a toll on you. And it's taking a toll on Big George, man. But I gave him that round, as odd as, as that sounds, but because he was more active in the round and he was doing a lot more work. Ali came around the last 20 seconds, although he wasn't hurt during the round. He was just catching, rolling, slipping a lot of these punches, but he wasn't doing anything back offensively. But I gave Foreman round 5. All right, into round 6, Big George, man, is starting to run out of ideas in this fight. Um, Ali comes out working his jab, double jabs, straight right hand behind it. And another thing that I forgot to say, man, and this is a lot of Ali fights where he does this, but he's not even doing body work and he's getting it done against Big George. Usually you would think, hey, go to Big George's body, break him down like that. Man, he's not even landing no body work at all. It's just straight sharp shooting with the jab right hand. And some people like to get on Ali sometimes and say, oh, he never went to the body. Hey, man, when your hand's that fast, that type of timing, that type of rhythm, body work is always good. Don't get me wrong. If I'm training a fighter, I'm going to train him how to go to the body. But and Ali's trained to go to the body. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they probably worked how to hit guys in the body. You know what I mean? You can't get to that level not knowing how to, but it didn't seem like he needed to, man. Now, he is landing some shots that are hitting Foreman's chest. You know, you aim for the chin sometimes. They can hit the chest. He's landing, I've seen a few shots hit Foreman in the chest, some straight right hands and some hooks. But Ali's headhunting, he's being very successful. He's coming right down the middle. Foreman's getting even wilder with these left and right hooks, so predictable. And he's starting to run out of ideas. There's a few times when Ali was on the ropes in this fight, or in this round, rather, round 6. I thought Foreman won about 50 seconds of round 6. And it was when Ali was against the ropes, invited him in. And then once Ali seen there was really nothing there, he rested for a second, caught some punches, some body shots landed, some right hooks to the body. And then once he just got enough rest, he got off the ropes and just commenced to outboxing Foreman from the outside with the jab and the straight right hand. But yeah, there was a time during this round where Foreman, he's right in front of Ali. He just fell in and clinched. Then there was another time where he started throwing filler punches. He was just, you know, pushing some jabs, and then he clinched. You can tell he's run out of ideas. It's like, okay, I got him here before. Only thing I can really land is these wild hooks, and I'm missing a lot, and a lot of them are being caught on the gloves and the elbow. But I gave Ali round 6. Also, I noticed after the round, Foreman's face started to get a little bit disfigured here, man. Starting to get puffed up. And that's from leather landing flush on your face very fast and very sharp. You know what I mean? That's what that comes from. And you can just tell just that hand speed and that leather hitting that face like that, man. Starting to swell Big George's face up. George went through that a lot, especially in his second half of his career, his great career, when he came back in the 90s. His face will swell up like that, get pumpkin head. All right, so to end of round 7, I gave that round to Big George, man. Now, Ali landed the more efficient work in the round when he decided to, when he elected to punch, he would throw what's been there all night. The jab, straight right hand. You know what I mean? And it's been there all night. This round, he elected just to fall against the ropes, and he would move a little bit in this round, but he fell against the ropes, and he was letting Foreman throw his left and right hooks. Some of them are missing. They're wide punches. Some of them are hitting the shoulders and the arms of Ali. Shots that are not hurting him, but Foreman is still putting leather on him. In the 3 rounds that I've given Foreman so far, rounds 3, 5, and 7, even though I edged him those rounds, Ali's still in control. You can just tell by the body language. He looks to be he doesn't seem to be as tired as Foreman. And when he does come alive and start throwing punches, I mean, they're fast, quick, sharp punches. And Foreman is trying to do the defense that he does, man, when he puts up the, especially back in these days, when he put up his hands, kind of like open his gloves up, and he's trying to parry your shots and knock your punches down, and then he want to come over the top with his punches, or he try to push you. But the thing is, when he's extending his arms like that, Ali's just throwing. He's not trying to get involved in any of that. He's just throwing. His hands are too fast to try to have that defense. While you're out there trying to paw and knock his shots down, Ali punches way too fast for that. But in this round, Ali elected to hit the ropes. And I thought Foreman was busier, putting on pressure, and I thought he was just busier, man. A lot of shots were missing. He was busier, and Ali literally wasn't doing anything but just rolling with shots, catching shots, grabbing him, talking in his ear, breaking him down like that. And like I said, the 3 rounds that I did give Foreman so far, at the very ends of those rounds, Ali was still, he would come alive, and you can tell he still had control. If you guys get what I'm saying, he probably lost the round. I don't know what the judges had that round, but maybe the judges gave him that round for Ali. But you can tell though, Ali's still in control. He would do something. He'll come alive the last 20 seconds, throw some flurries, or like at the end of this round, you see right here, he kind of pushes Foreman into the corner right after the round ends. But I gave it to Foreman round 7. All right, round 8. Ali stops Big George Foreman. Foreman was very exhausted in this round. I thought Ali was winning the round anyways. Some might argue that Ali wasn't doing much in the round. He was throwing. He was also. I said that Foreman was throwing some push type punches in there. Ali would only when Foreman was close. He wouldn't do it from range. When Foreman was close, throwing those little push type of filler punches, and then he'll try to sneak sloppy wide left and right hooks in there. Ali would do it too, but then Ali would sneak in a fast straight right hand or a hard jab, and then he'll kind of paw with the right hand, and then he'll paw again with his jab, and then another fast straight right hand. He was sneaking those in there on Foreman throughout the round, and Foreman was more active, busier in the round up into the knockdown. But again, very sloppy, very sloppy. At this point, it wasn't even like it was sloppy work and some of it was landing. It was like majority of all of it was missing. Some of it had nothing on it. He wasn't turning his hips, strictly arm punches. Then Ali was, he'll get on the back foot again, land some jabs. Then he'll go against the rope, and then Foreman got him in the corner. He had nothing. First of all, he was standing way too close to Ali, in my opinion, to really let shots go. But it was fatigue, man. Fatigue has set in. Getting hit clean, fast, and hard was starting to set in. Then when he got Ali over there in the corner, when he got hit with that flurry, he got hit with a straight right hand first. That kind of stood him up. And then Foreman, as he was doing in this fight, was just extend his left arm out there or try to grab or try to time Ali's quick hands by trying to knock down the punches. He stuck his arm out there, and Ali came over the top. As Foreman was leaning off to the side, he had his left arm extended out there on Ali. Ali comes over the top of that with a right hand, and then Ali they're both orthodox fighters, so Ali stepped around Foreman's left side of him, which it created a position where Foreman was in the corner, but he didn't stay in the corner. He kind of turned out of it, and as he was doing that, he started getting hit with punches that he didn't see coming. He wasn't ready for, and it was just straight punches, man. It was a jab, right hand. There was another right hand that caught him. I believe Ali tried to land a hook in there somewhere, but then he goes down. I always thought that he beat the count. Even when I seen this decades ago, I always thought that Foreman at least got up on 9. I always thought he got up on 9, man, when I watch it. But anyways, when he did get up, there was really nothing left. If this had went the full distance, I don't think he would have made it. He was just so exhausted. He just couldn't, at least Ali give you some spurts where he'll throw literally 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 punches sharp, fast, the way he was in the first round. Whereas Foreman, his spurt was literally one big right hand, one big left hook, and then he'll go back to just pecking away. Pecking away meaning nothing on it, not turning his hips, and then one big left hand. And it was just so predictable, man. Great fight, man. Ali takes out Big George in 8 to become the heavyweight champion of the world.